Let's queer up the top stories of the year. This is number 6 of 2025. New study shows how pro-LGBTQ and DEI helps business. On September 1st, we discussed a new study which challenged the phrase, "Go woke, go broke." Research from the Human Rights Campaign and Whistle Stop Capital found that companies with strong DEI practices outperformed peers financially, showing higher revenue growth, profits, and investor stability over time.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Von Biggs, and let's queer up business. New study shows how pro-LGBTQ and DEI helps business. Conservatives love to use the term, quote, "go woke and go broke," end quote. But a new study shows that the opposite may be true. Research by the Human Rights Campaign and Whistle Stop Capital that analyzed nearly 2 decades worth of data from the HRC's Corporate Equality Index and corporate earnings shows that companies that embrace DEI are more profitable than companies that don't. The analysis demonstrates that companies with high CEI scores saw greater cumulative revenue growth than low-scoring companies over a 15-year period. Over a 10-year period, top-scoring companies reported average net income more than 8 times higher than their lowest-scoring peers. Additionally, higher CEI scores were linked to greater gross profit and more stable share price performance, suggesting more consistent, long-term investor confidence. Whistle Stop Capital founder Meredith Benton said of the findings, quote, "The data supports a thesis that we consider intuitive. Companies don't grow by excluding talent or consumers. Those companies with long-term high CEI scores are seeing the benefits of a virtuous cycle. Companies with strong relationships to the Pride community have built valuable workplace cultures, reputations, and brands over time," end quote. HRC President Kelly Robinson said, quote, "This new data confirms what we have long known. Fairness and inclusion power innovation and growth. That's why the HRC Foundation's Corporate Equality Index was born more than 20 years ago. When businesses embrace LGBTQ+ equality in their policies and their practices, they're not just doing the right thing for their employees and their consumers. They're positioning themselves to outperform, out-innovate, and outlast their competitors," end quote. Queer News Tonight proposes that a new saying should be, quote, "Ditch DEI and watch your company die," end quote. I don't have anything to say to that.
Well, for one thing, that has already been true. For example, Target. Target famously donated to the inauguration and, back off from DEI after a bunch of very vocal and violent conservatives march into their stores and knock around and harassing the employees and, try to burn down the Pride collection, and oh wait, the boycott worked. And now after 2 quarters, or at least 2 quarters of stunning decline in revenue, their CEO is forced out, part of it because of him deleting DEI from their policies. Target, you should learn that lesson well. Learn from Target. And secondly, look at Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel today announced that they are deleting their DEI after conservative backlash furiously about their logo change. They're also reverting back to the logo. So now you're going back to the logo that has a cracker and a barrel. Now, and also, those with long enough memories will remember that Cracker Barrel is the subject of one of the highest profile anti-gay discrimination case, where the previous CEO in a gazillion years ago, in the 90s, literally witch hunt and fired LGBTQ people from their company. En masse. That led to a lawsuit, that led to a settlement, but yet, if I remember correctly, even today, Cracker Barrel's CEI is only 30 out of 100.
I had to explain to an old Dizzy Queen friend that Crate and Barrel was okay, but Cracker Barrel wasn't. So,
Cracker Barrel is also cheese. The cheese is fine. The cheese is fine. Just the restaurant is no.
And I'm loving ditch DEI and watch your company die. I want that on a bumper sticker.
That's too, no. I think just switch the name. Just switch one word. Go woke or go broke. You have a choice. Right. Either or.
we are bringing you a special presentation of the 25 most important stories of the year that we call the Top 25 of 2025. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.